Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. So today I am super excited because I just came home with my baby blue tongue skink. I put him in his new tank and he is adjusting so fantastically. He went in there, he kind of seemed a little shocked for a second. I'm assuming because we just got back from a car ride. I made it to where he has a lot of places to hide so he feels more comfortable, but he didn't go in any of them. He just kind of saw if they were there and came back up to the tank to look out of it, I guess, and immediately went to bask. So he isn't hid at all. So I present to you my new Erie and Jaya blue tongue skink, Morty. The pet store that I got him from, which they are absolutely amazing. That's where I get all my feeders and everything from. They've actually been handling him down on a pretty regular basis and it shows. Like, he is already okay with being taken out. I'm not taking him out today. I probably won't take him out tomorrow just to let him get settled in and everything. I'm gonna make sure that he's eating and all of that good stuff before I start taking him out regularly. I'm happy. This is the animal that I've wanted for so long and I finally have it. So let's cut to me setting his tank up. So for his tank, I'm going to be using the Exoterra Large and Low, which is basically a 40-gallon breeder, but shorter. I'm also going to go ahead and put an under the tank heater on the tank. They don't actually need one of these, but he is a baby, so I want him to feel secure in his hot spot hide, and also it's winter and the temperatures keep dropping. So we're going to have that there set pretty low just in case. And next, I'm just soaking my Eco Earth brick in water. I like to buy them in bricks because they're like half the price, and I'm pretty sure you get more in this brick than you do the bag. And I'm just going to mix that with some forest floor bedding. These guys do like to burrow, and this particular species of blue tongue skink like humidity as opposed to the Australian blue tongue skink, so we want something that's going to hold in that humidity. And I know this doesn't look like the thickest layer of substrate, but keep in mind that he is a baby. So this is the part where shortly after I have put all of the substrate into the tank, I realized that I didn't hook up the thermostat. I do this every single time I set up a new tank, and then I have to just kind of scrape the bottom of the tank away to get this temperature probe to stick. So let's do that. So the temperature probe on the thermostat is super important because it's actually going to be what tells your thermostat when to turn on and off, and it controls your heat pad. Some might argue that it's the most important part of the thermostat. I always use these super cheap Amazon thermostats. They're usually about 20 bucks, and the print on them always changes because they're cheap, and I guess the brand just randomly changes. I don't know how any of that works, but they're the exact same thing. No matter what this on here is, I find that they're always the same. This used to be purple and now it's green. Still moving all that bedding around trying to get this probe to stick down. Ignore all the stuff in the tank. I ended up using like none of that except for the rocks. Also forgot to put this in. This is just another means of holding in humidity in the substrate because, again, they like a high humidity. I'm going to try to keep it at about 60 to 70%. And I'll be attempting to keep the humidity up by just misting the tank regularly, but if that doesn't work, I'll be getting a misting system for it. I was also feeling kind of crafty and I wanted to recreate Reptile Mountain's drainage pipe hide that he uses for his blue tongue skink, which I absolutely love the shape of that and the idea of that, but I wanted it to look more natural. So I did recreate that. I really like how it came out. I really like how it looked, but I wouldn't suggest doing this unless you're just feeling crafty and just want to. It's not easier than buying a hide. It took forever. I literally was working on this for a week, and then plus the week and a half that I let it air out and dry. The materials cost more than it would cost just to go buy one, and it's not gonna hold up. There's no way. I mean, it feels solid now, and as he's a baby now, it's gonna be good, but once he gets older and those claws get longer and sharper, it's not gonna hold up. But if you are looking into this, unless you have a smaller animal that's not gonna climb all over it, then I honestly wouldn't suggest doing it. And here we have Morty's finished enclosure with the hide and everything in it. I tried to give him a lot of greenery and places to hide, so that way he feels more secure. He also has like a rock that's buried in the ground in addition to his basking rock, and that's just to kind of file his nails down. This is his little hot hide here where there is a heat pad underneath it set pretty low, which, small update, as I'm doing this voiceover, that's actually where he has been sleeping the last 2 nights. And he does have a very shallow layer of water in his water bowl because babies are really clumsy and I don't want him to get in there and accidentally flip upside down. This is him being released into his home. I thought he would just crawl out of the dish and he didn't want to. So I had to pick him up and put him in there. And I think he was still a little stressed out and in shock from the car ride because he didn't want to move and he just kind of flopped down. But then as soon as I took the dish out, he got up and started moving and he was good to go. So I just wanted to quickly address why I set up Morty's habitat the way that I did, especially for those who are unfamiliar with the blue-tongued skink. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to bring up an issue with the blue-tongued skink here in America. So there are several subspecies of the blue-tongued skink originating from Australia and Indonesia, but due to export laws in each country and views on having wild-caught versus captive-born and bred as pets and other issues, a lot of people aim for the blue-tongued skink of the Australian locality, but end up getting Indonesian. As you can imagine, Indonesia and Australia have vastly different environments, which means that the animals themselves have different requirements in captivity. My blue-tongued skink needs a humid environment, so I'm striving to give him that humid environment. When I was researching him on the blue-tongued skink forums, I saw so many times people who bought blue-tongued skinks saying that they were northern and they actually ended up being Indonesian, and they had a bunch of issues because of the lack of humidity. So please, please, please do your research. I walked by my bedroom a little later and saw this. So I'm about to make his very first food, and that is this Halo gluten-free turkey and quail. Cat food grosses me out. I used to have a cat. I don't have one now. My husband is very allergic. But I'm starting off with this brand. He's not going to eat this brand every week. I'm going to switch up the brands week by week. So he'll do this. I'll do the Omni Pro next week. Then I'm going to go to the pet store and get a different brand, and then I'll get a different brand, and then I might do the Bluey Buffet, and then I'll do a different brand. So he's going to have a lot of variety. So we're going to do about that much, which actually isn't a lot at all. This can is going to last the entire week, and we're going to sprinkle some calcium powder in there. This calcium does have D3. I will be doing this like once a month, and then calcium without D3 the rest of the time. But he does have a UV light on his tank that'll provide him with the D3, and I don't want to risk him not getting the amount of vitamins that he needs. And without hesitation, he went over there and started eating his food. Look at that blue tongue. It actually looks like there's a lot more food in there than there is. That dish is really, really shallow. I think it's actually for hermit crabs, maybe? I'm not sure, but it's a super shallow dish. He didn't eat all of it, and I'll put less in there next time. But I'm just so happy, and I can't get over how cute he is. I've literally been waiting for one of these for probably about 2 years now. And that's about all I have for you guys this week. If you enjoyed this video, you can check out my other setup videos in my setups playlist. And if you want to see more pictures and videos of my animals throughout the week, including this little guy here, you can head on over to Instagram and follow me there at Elle.622, where you can do just that. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Claire Nilla, sorry if I said that wrong, for following me on Instagram and going through and liking a whole bunch of my pictures. You are the bee's knees. If you like this video, please feel free to like this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. I put on new videos every single Sunday/Wednesday. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.